So for a number of years, from 2012 to 2016, I thought living in dual realms was basically the pinnacle to which I could ascend. Yeah, I thought that was it. I'm living in heaven. I've been living in heaven since 2012 in the spirit, engaging there with my soul daily. I thought that was it. But the Father called me to go beyond. And that's when that statement first came out. Go beyond. Now, I didn't really understand what that was at the time, but I embraced it. And he began to unveil and reveal what that truly meant. And for me, beyond was to experience multi-dimensional realms of existence. And I actually began to experience those things by going into other dimensions and engaging there, but also, in a sense, to be able to exist multidimensionally as well. The Father took me one day into my mind and took me on a journey, showed me what my mind, how it was constructed, the pillars and the frameworks of my thinking, and then led me into a process of deconstructing that. But also he showed me some areas of my mind that were like behind doors, which were closed, but weren't locked, but I was restricted from connecting to them. And I was disconnected by almost like a gulf. And we walked to this place, and we walked to that sort of place in my mind. And as we were walking in that place in my mind, there was this gulf. And the Father said, do you want me to bridge this gulf just once? And I thought, yep. And as this bridge formed across the gulf and we walked across the gulf to the door, I looked at the Father to say, well, are you going to open the door? And he basically looked at me and said, well, are you going to open the door? And so I began to think, okay, I'm going to choose that door is going to open. And that's what happened. The door opened, and then I could see a whole way of choosing future possibilities. I saw every possibility that existed at that moment, and it was confusing because I was like, whoa, what possibility do I choose? What reality do I choose? And the Father said, they're all good. They're all good because you're coming from my heart, and I think that really gave me a sense of confidence that when I'm coming from the Father's heart, I can choose that reality without fear, without thinking, oh, I'm going to get it wrong, which is the right one, but actually be confident I can choose that reality. And ultimately, that's what I did. As soon as I came out of that encounter, I had an opportunity to choose a reality because I was late for work. And I was late because I'd had this encounter and I was supposed to be meeting someone. And I thought, okay, I've got a choice here. Which choice should I do? Should I phone him, say I'm going to be late? Do I rush? Or actually, do I choose the reality that I'm going to get there on time, no matter what? So I chose that reality. And literally what happened, I began to live in suspended time. So I was in a bubble. I went and had a shower. I came down. The kitchen clock was ticking and it was gone past the time I should have been at work. But my watch, and when I looked at it, was not. It was absolutely still the same time as when I chose the reality that I would be able to do it. So I tested the fact. I did several other things before I went to work. And actually, I walked to work, which took me another 10 to 15 minutes. And actually, as I was walking to work, my watch started ticking again. And this is a perpetual watch. It doesn't stop ever. And literally, I got there before the time that I needed to be there by choosing that reality, because my mind had now been expanded, my consciousness, to believe that that was possible. And I choose that possibility. And there's this little statement that we've had out on our website in the past. It says, information flowing from your future possibilities is waiting for you to see and observe it and call it into being. I'll read that again. Information flowing from your future possibilities is waiting for you to see and observe it and call it into being. Therefore, we need to stop thinking linearly, like 1 minute, the next minute, the next minute, the next minute. In 1 minute, we should see all the possibilities of everything that we can engage in the next second. and begin to choose that aligned to the Father's heart without restrictions or limitations. That is what we're called to live in terms of the nature of an immortal life.